What's going on, Show Nation? It's Movie with Movie Gaming TV, and we had to run it back for Stage 4 Team Affinity. I am joined by the one, the only, the great Yeyo Gaming. How's it going, Yeyo?
Going well, going well. How are you doing? Happy Finest Day.
Hey, happy Finest Day to you as well. A couple of announcements. Yeyo will be putting on a tournament coming up soon. There's going to be an announcement soon. He's going to talk a little bit about that. As well as Yeyo is giving away just like the top of the line Elgato shock mount mic. So if you're thinking to thinking about getting into content creation, or you just want an excellent mic, please go check out Yeyo's Twitter. I'm going to leave a link as well as all of Yeyo's social media stuff in the description below. So be sure to check that out. And Yeyo, do you have anything you want to say about the tournament as well?
Yeah, so the tournament is going to be 16 players. Very good players. I mean, I guess we can make the announcement that Movie Gaming is going to be part of the tournament. So I appreciate you being a part of this. We're going to be doing over 18 versus under 18. Obviously, there was a little bit controversy in the ESL because people couldn't, if they were under 18, they couldn't participate. So we'll give them a chance. And it's going to be 8 against 8. We'll seat them and battle it out. Regarding the giveaway, yes, it's on my Twitter account. You just have to follow, like, retweet for a chance to win. We're going to be giving away the Elgato Wave 3, which is basically the best USB mic out there with a shock mount and the pop filter, the whole thing. So yeah, good luck to all.
Sounds great. And we're here today to discuss the entire Stage 4 Affinity. We're gonna cover it all. We're gonna cover all 30 cards. We're gonna cover the rare packs as well. We're gonna give you our opinion on our favorite ones, which ones you should go after, which ones you should spend your hard-earned subs or exchange for. In our opinion, the best ones to go after. And we're gonna give you an opinion on all of them. We're gonna start in the American League, and then we are going to go to the National League. Starting with the American League, we're going to start with the AL East. We're going to start with the Baltimore Orioles. A little bit about how this is going to work if this is your first time into Stage Affinity, or you just want to get caught up on the missions and how everything's going to go. The missions themselves, 250 innings, 150 innings online. You can use some of the face of the franchise players as well from Stage 3, and they do not necessarily... This time around, they don't have to be online missions. They can actually be offline missions as well. So, for instance, with the Orioles, you'd use the face of the franchise. Jim Palmer, all you got to do is get 10 strikeouts. You're going to get +5 to that. Extra base hits with the Orioles. The MLB Showdown Exchange is also repeatable. The one with Jim Palmer is not repeatable, but it is something that you can do. And then exchange the Orioles rivals. So there are still exchanges that you can do, which is, if you built up a lot of stubs and stuff like that, you're going to be able to do that as well. So if you build up stubs or you've been saving up cards, I think that's probably the main way I'm going to go about it. Yeyo, I don't know about you. I think that's probably the same way that you're going to go about it, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, we've had so many free packs throughout the year, Conquest, doing moments, programs and stuff that I'm looking over them right now. I have so many duplicates of commons, bronzes, everything, that I feel like that is the fastest way to do it.
Yeah, I think that's going to be definitely it's going to, so many free packs that we've got, from, just like a lot of the moments and the programs and stuff. I've been kind of saving that all up. If you're not that far along in the Stage 4, don't worry. You can always buy these cards out of the market. So if you want to get one of your favorite players right now, I'm looking at Anthony Santander. I think I saw it's like Santander, I think is how you pronounce his name. He's going for about 30 to 40K right now, so you can kind of pick up these. I expect them to kind of go down in price also, because I feel like a lot of people are saved up, so you can get them that way out of the market itself. And then there also are going to be some packs, as you can see, the finest pack with the base round and the rare round. That's going to have some different cards though than the actual ones, but you could possibly sell those to pick up a different card. We're going to get into all of that, but I want to just say that these cards are sellable and these cards are also prestigiable as well. So as we go down along the XP reward path here, we do get to Anthony Santander. or Santander. I know I'm probably not saying that right. I
Hey,
apologize.
I got you. Santander.
Thank you so much. Yeyo has thank you. He comes in at 102, 69, 115, 110, 105 vision, 93 fielding, 91 reaction, 56 speed. I have him a little bit lower on the tier for me as far as priority goes, just because there are so many cards in the outfield right now that it's really stacked on the high end. But the switch hitting is a really, really nice thing. Dual power from both sides is a nice thing as well. 93 fielding in right field is always good. Maybe he's more of a left fielder with the gold fielding, but the 91 reaction, the 56 speed, I'm kind of personally out on this one, but I don't think he's that bad. What do you think about him, Yeyo?
Yeah, I think obviously being a switch hitter is a plus. I think his only weak spot, honestly, that 69 contact against lefties. He does have a very nice swing. Like you mentioned, there's so many good outfielders that he's not going to be one that a lot of people are going to go after right away. I don't expect them to, especially for those that have Trout, the Larry Walkers, the Ty Cobbs, the Mickey Mantles, the Ken Griffey's, right? There's so many options. But this card, actually, the live series, I've used it in BR. He has a very nice swing. Being a switch hitter, diamond fielding in right field, you don't see a lot of that either. 56 speed is not elite by any means, but it's not terrible. I mean, 102, 115 against righties is more than serviceable, but I agree with you a little bit on the lower tier because of the positions that he plays.
For sure. And we're gonna move to the Red Sox now. I gotta let you get the first jump here at the Red Sox player as this loads up. We're gonna go take a look at the Red Sox player here. It is going to be Xander Bogaerts. What do you think about Xander Bogaerts?
Xander Bogaerts. So I obviously love that 125, 112 against lefties. 74 fielding is not elite by any means. He plays second base and third base as well, but obviously you want to leave him at short because if not, he'll become a bronze defender. So you don't want that bronze shield there. 92, 95 against righties is still, I mean, very solid. There's not a lot of shortstops, I don't think, in this, in the finest. And shortstops is always one of those weakest positions. Obviously, he's not at the level of the Honus Wagner. Obviously, your Cap, Tatis, he's not there, but he's a very strong option for shortstop, I believe, because of that offensive attributes.
Yeah, and I look at this card and I think, maybe he might be better kind of at the third base or second base. He's got really good contact and vision, good power from the left side. He already looks to me as a card that would be pretty good if you prestiged him because it knocks up his fielding in the secondary positions to silver. It knocks up his speed to 71 as well. Pretty cool card to see for the Red Sox this year in Xander Bogaerts. We're going to take a look now as this loads up for, I think it's the Yankees there next. Yeah, it's the Yankees. And bear with us as it loads up. It's got to load up in all of this brand new, fantastic looking card art. We got DJ LeMahieu. The Yankees actually have another finest card that we will talk about here in a little while. 125 on both sides, so A+ contact. 108 power versus righties as well. 78 power versus lefties. 119 vision. Now, the vision's going to help you foul off pitches, but in talking to the devs, the vision also opens up the timing window. It gives you a little bit more timing to get perfects. I've been trying to test that out all year to kind of verify that. I don't mind having a little bit of extra vision, though. I don't mind being able to foul off the pitches personally that much. That 125 contacts, just insane. I love having that for the inner PCI. 86 fielding, 97 reaction, 43 speed. I think he's going to be an underrated fielder because of that height at 6'4". He's really, really tall. So if you play him at second base and someone hits one of those line drives, he can kind of jump up and make the play. I do like that in the second baseman, some of the taller second basemen like that. I've definitely had some experiences playing against him in the past where I'll hit a line drive and DJ LeMahieu is just right there to catch it. So I do think this is an interesting card as far as him making a God squad. Probably not. I don't really see that with DJ LeMahieu, but I do think he's a good card. And if you're a Yankees fan out there or you're making like kind of a Yankees team, I think, this is a pretty solid card.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, obviously having the max contact against both sides is good. 108 power against righties. I love that those splits. Obviously, it doesn't meet the 80 power threshold against lefties, which is kind of a bad in the offensive attributes, but you can prestige him and get that 81. So you'll have the 80 plus power if you prestige him. 97 reaction is actually elite, I think, for that second baseman as well. Obviously not the fastest. His swing, I don't think it's the fastest either. It's kind of like on the low side. Again, obviously not a end game card, not a God Squad card, but very solid all around as far as because of that contact vision that he has.
Definitely. And then let's see. Our next team here is the Tampa Bay Rays. I'm gonna let you get the first jump on this one. Let me know what you think about this one, Yeyo. It is going to be none other than Nick Anderson.
Yeah, and I remember when I first saw it on Twitter, this was like, what? I mean, maxed out hit per nine, K per nine, clutch per nine, or pitching clutch, walks per nine, 96 with a control 86. He has a four seamer, 97. He's going to be touching 98, 99. Curveball, sinker, slider, but his arm angle, his pitch delivery is kind of difficult to pick up, or it can be. I remember using the gold version for a while, and obviously max out in hits per nine and K per nine is going to shrink the opponent's PCI to the smallest that it possibly can. It should be easy to control. He does have a sinker, which is obviously the sinker and cutter are the best pitches in the game. I really like this card for the pen. It can make any pen, I think, at this moment.
This Nick Anderson card, and you talk about delivery, it's so important. Either having an easy delivery to execute on the controller with the right stick, or to have just kind of that glitchy release point type of thing where it's difficult to pick up the pitch. That is a huge advantage. That kind of like when you combine that with the math of the stats of the card, the attributes of the card, it really leads to a good card. 125 both sides is fantastic. Going to make the PCI smaller, and it's going to get you more swings and misses. The control is not bad either. At 96 BB per 9, 86 control, four seam curveball, sinker, and a slider. So he's got the off speed to mix in with the sinker and the slider. It's a hard sinker too. It comes in at 95. Kind of reminds like the Hershiser sinker. It's like a hard sinker that comes in there. This sinker on Nick Anderson is going to be hard as well. It's going to be fast. I'm looking at his quirks too. He also has Night Player, so you play, and he has Road Warrior, so you might even get a little bit of a boost in that regard, maybe like 1 to 2 here and there. So I think he's even going to be better on the road and at night. We might want to check some of these other ones too, to see, because the quirks look like they're rolling over for some of these cards, which some of the dynamic quirks in this game could really make some of these cards like even better.
But I mean, especially Outlier. Outlier is the first one we look at, right? Especially with pitchers.
Yes.
And we'll get to that because there's one that I'm very curious to see if he's gonna have it. And I know we both agree on that, but we'll get to that later. But I agree, quirks can be extremely important in cards as well.
All right, we're gonna move on to the Toronto Blue Jays. I'm gonna try to say this right. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. I know his is it his brother, his cousin's on the Astros, I believe.
His brother, yep.
His brother. And then he's coming in at 123, 102, 99, 93, 88 vision, 85 fielding. He's got an 81 arm, 56 speed. He can kind of play all over the diamond. He's got pretty balanced attributes hitting wise, but it just kind of goes down. I'm just gonna say I'm not too hyped personally about this card. There's just nothing that really stands out too much about this one, but the Blue Jays do get to add another card to their repertoire for their all-time team.
Yeah, I mean, and this card, I actually like it. It's very balanced. I like that he's a righty hitter, but has 123 contact against righties with 99 power. That's actually very good. 85 fielding. Even though if you played him on secondary positions, he's still going to have that gold badge. I think that's very good. I was actually doing a lineup build. I'm going to be doing all Cuban team, and I didn't have a shortstop. And I had the Life Series Lourdes Gurriel and It was 81 overall, which wasn't bad. But once I saw that they announced this card, I'm like, that's gonna be my shortstop for Team Cuba, and I really want to try him out. It looks very well balanced. Not many weak spots per se. So with that 56 speeds, I'd rather use him at short, second, or third.
Definitely. That's gonna play to his strengths. And you talk about the reverse splits. I like having the reverse splits as well, and I can't wait to see that video with the all Cuba team. That's gonna be awesome.
Oh, and that the team looks very good. The lineup looks very good. I mean, yes, I can't wait either.
That's awesome. All right, we're gonna hop over to the White Sox. Why don't you take the first stab here at Tim Anderson?
Yeah, Tim Anderson. He got a finest last year as well, and I think this one is better. Maxed out against lefties. We're gonna see that I think often. 84 fielding, solid. 84 speed, solid. The card has a decent swing. He can play shortstop, second, and third. 79 power. Again, it doesn't meet the 80 power threshold. If you're a White Sox fan or you're a Tim Anderson fan, you're gonna get him prestige and get that power over 80. Then it becomes 112 and 82 against righties. Obviously, that staying with that max power against lefties. Right now, he can be a bench bat. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of these cards that are worst case scenario right now. They can be bench bats, and Tim Anderson is one of them.
The 109, 125, 79, 125. Dual 125s is always something that you can utilize either in your everyday roster or on the bench. Talk about facing an all-time White Sox team with having like Tim Anderson and Frank Thomas. Oh, you better not have a left-handed pitcher because ball's gonna go flying. Can get that power up just a little bit through the prestige. Can get that fielding up just a little bit from the prestige. Good speed, like 84 to 87 speed wise seems to be like a huge jump. I know he's not in the outfield. If he was an outfielder, I do feel like that'd actually be a bigger difference. But excited to see Tim Anderson get another card in the game, and it's always nice seeing that dual 125.
Yeah, it looks so good. It just jumps at you.
It does. All right, for the Cleveland Indians, we've got a starting pitcher that gets a nod here. They've also got another one in the finest collection that we will talk about a little bit later. We have a lot to cover in this video, so stick with us. Let's talk about Shane Bieber. What do you think about Shane Bieber, Yeyo?
Shane Bieber had one of the greatest pitching seasons we've seen in a while, right? Triple Crown. He technically could have been one of the MVP finalists. 120, 125 hits per nines and K per nines is very, very good, especially coming from a starter. My only problem with him is not per nines are better than the 97 tops now Shane Bieber that we had a couple months ago, but his pitch speed differential is not that much. Like he throws a four seam 94, 95, then everything is about the same. He does have a knuckle curve and a slider mid 80s. And a cutter at 90, like it doesn't do it for me. Pitch repertoire per se, it does have a cutter, but he's missing that sinker. Not a big difference as far as like the pitch speeds, which I think is a big deal breaker for me.
Yeah, this is a really interesting card. Like the per nines are there; they've gone up. I remember thinking back in the day, like kind of about like even like a card like Max Scherzer, how I wanted him to have like more per nines when he doesn't throw as hard to kind of like make him a better card. I don't know if Bieber is going to be able to match in game what he does on the actual field. Just because the force, he's got the cutter and the slider, which are nice. We don't have really the sinker. He's got the changeup, but like you said about the pitch differentials, they aren't quite as there. I don't think his motion personally is too bad. He's not a bad card, but it's almost like there's just not much there. Mm-hmm. You know, he does have home body and night player. So if you're going to use this card, recommend that you try to get a home game, possibly play at night if you're going to use him. He also has stopper when the team is behind, which I'm not too familiar with, to be honest with you, but maybe if the team is, maybe he can kind of like get some kind of mini boost if the team is not doing as well. But I'm I don't think this card's gonna make my God Squad rotation personally, but I also I'm kind of interested to see, like, I don't know, 120, 125 is kind of enticing. He's got, if he's got this 83 BB per 9 and 88 control, maybe if that was like a little bit higher, even more enticing. Not bad though, not bad for Shane Bieber. This go around for the finest card. We're gonna head over to the Detroit Tigers. Yayo, what do you think about the Detroit Tigers card?
Candelario, right?
Yes.
I mean, another switch hitter, very, very good. Live series, Candelario, I've used him again in BR as well. Very quick swing. 99.87 against righties it's solid. Against lefties, obviously that 125, 105, which is nice because we've seen already a couple bats that are a lot better or almost maxed out against lefties. This is another one that's almost maxed out against lefties, but he can hit righties as well. Goal fielding. The only problem is corner. He plays the corner positions first and third. There's better options at this stage in the game, but it all depends on how the lineup is looking, right? I think Babe Ruth for me is the best first baseman in the game. I don't think he's coming out anytime soon. At third baseman, there's a lot of better options as well, but offensively, it's not bad. It's not terrible. You like that he's a switch hitter as well.
You think about the 125, 105, and you know who that kind of reminds me of is actually like Mickey Mantle. I think he has that same split versus lefties. Gotta love a switch hitter, and I definitely trust your word that he's got a good swing. That's what's nice about playing BR is you kind of when it comes to these finest cards, you kind of like have been able to use some of the swings and kind of see like, oh, this is kind of like a boosted version of this guy. He's gonna be even better. So I always like the switch hitter. I mean, obviously, he's not going to make the God Squad this time around, but I think it's going to be a cool card if you're a Detroit Tigers fan to plug into your lineup. You can play him at first, you can play him at third base, and enjoy Heimer Candelario.
Yeah.
All right, we got.
I think this is all you.
City Royals.
This is all you.
I am a Royals fan. Yeyo is a Red Sox fan. So let's take a look at Salvador Perez. Huge fan of Salvador Perez. Actually had a really, really good season. Bounced back. A lot of people will talk about, Francisco Lindor, and rightfully so, as like, he just absolutely loves playing baseball. That's how I feel about Salvador Perez. I don't feel like anybody in the world, maybe Lindor, is as happy being, maybe Tatis, is as happy being on a baseball field as Salvador Perez. After having to sit out an entire year, I think I was really, really difficult for him. But to bounce back this year, get on the field, he was just smashing home runs this year. When he did get on the field, they gave him 125 contact versus right, 112 power versus right, 88 contact versus left. But he does come in at 125 power versus left. Salvy's always pretty good defensively. I think it's gone down a little bit, but I don't think he's bad by any means defensively. Has that gold pretty much across the way. I don't think too many people are going to be running on him. And I actually think Salvy's got a good swing in this game. I don't know if a lot of people have really used it because, for maybe if in BR folks have used it, but I'm not sure if a lot of people got his diamond card that he has in the game already. But he's got a good swing. I really like Jimmy Fox in this game. Jimmy Fox is one of my favorite cards, but honestly, I would probably try this card out just because I love 125 power. I think he'd actually be a pretty good card. I feel like he's going to go for a little bit more. He's going for 65K right now, 57 sell now. So I feel like he is going for a little bit more, but I'm pretty hyped about this. So this card, attribute-wise, came in over my expectations, and I really like it.
I agree. And I think, I agree with you that Jimmy Fox for me is the best offensive card in the game, even better than Trout for me right now. The thing, I still think Trout is the best card because he can do it all. But yes, Jimmy Fox is for me is my end game catcher. But I love this. We go back to the splits, and this is what I love to see. Very Trout-like, right? Like I love having a right-handed hitter that's better against righties. 125, 112 against righties is insane. 88 contact is a little bit on the lower side, but that 125 power plays. Like you mentioned, he has a very, very good swing. Goal defender right there behind the plate. It's not bad. You're not gonna want him at first base anyways. He's a good defender. Like you said, he's not elite defender like he once was. He's been catching for almost 10 years. The injury as well, but this should be a very fun card to watch. And I'm sure you're gonna be playing with you can do a lineup with your Kansas City squad. And I mean, this catcher is gonna be a good one.
Definitely. The other thing I was thinking about too is it kind of in that DJ Mayhew thing. He's a big body behind the dish. He's a big catcher, 6'4", 240. Probably gonna help out his blocking a little bit. And agree so much with what you said about Jimmy Fox. He's just a really, really good. I'm getting close to getting that Griffey card. I'm interested to see. I think Griffey is gonna be possibly the best card in this game. Also, right up there with Fox and right up there as well with Mike Trout. I think the timing window on his swing is gonna be ridiculous. Yeah. And we're gonna get to another outfielder here in a little bit that has some amazing hitting stats. But we're gonna start off. We're gonna head to the Twins right now. We're going to talk about Nelson Cruz out in right field. You want to talk about some hitting stats?
Oh, my God. Yes. And, I mean, again, another one maxed out against lefties, 120. I don't want to use any lefty now. Like, I want to take Kershaw out. I want to take Paxton out. I don't even know because it's insane. And he still has 92, 118 against righties, which is not too shabby either. Obviously, fielding 67 is not the best. But he does have 95 arm strength right there in right field. He has the arm, 32 speed. But for me, Nelson Cruz is what he really is in real life. He's a DH, right? He's a bench bat. We don't have DH in Diamond Dynasty, so bench bat it is.
How did you feel about using the DH in the Creators League that we played in this year with MLB The Show? Did you like the DH or not?
I liked it. I mean, obviously, it's a lot easier to make tough decisions, right? Like you don't have to worry about when your pitcher is hitting. You don't have to worry about your eighth hitter that, you have to get on base with him because the pitcher spot is coming out. You don't have to worry about that. So I thought it was fun. We have so much content that I think having a DH would just add to it. There's so many tough decisions that we have to make, but it was fun. I liked it.
That's how I feel about it as well. It actually is really nice having a DH. Like it feels like maybe some of the strategy would be gone, but you could still use the bench to platoon. You could even platoon your DH, honestly. And it's a really nice feeling when you have the eighth hitter in the lineup and then all of a sudden you actually do have a hitter in that ninth spot. It opens up the door for more cards to be able to be playable. I actually really, really enjoy having the DH. I don't really like hitting with the pitcher at all. It's mostly like I got a bunt, and it'd be more exciting to use this Nelson Cruz card at the DH spot than I got to put him on the bench and now I got to put him in. That's my personal opinion. Let us know down in the comment section if you've had any if you try to custom league or if you think the DH would be a good thing. I think it would be a good thing, but I know it's kind of a thing that everyone has their own opinion on. I'm just curious as to what everyone thinks in the comment section about DHs. We're going to move to the Anaheim, aka, well, it used to be the Anaheim. It's going to be the Los Angeles Angels. And we're going to go take a look at the folk hero, David Fletcher. What do you think about David Fletcher?
He's missing that power. And obviously, the contact is elite, 116, 125. We saw it on one of the devs there on the live stream where he had this end game squad and he had David Fletcher starting at second. I thought that was funny. But 93 fielding is elite, right? 99 reaction at shortstop. He's gonna make a lot of the plays. He's 60 speed. He may have a little bit trouble making or getting to some of the balls either in the hole or up the middle. But that reaction will make up for it. I just think the 65 power is just not good enough. Not even if you prestige him, he's not going to make much of a difference.
This card, I'm looking at the stats right now, and it reminds me of Tony Gwynn with no speed because it has a lot of contact, not a lot of power, great defense. But usually when you have the contact hitter, you want to have some speed to accompany that so they can kind of get on base and then steal a couple bases. But I do feel like this is like a pretty reflective card of David Fletcher, like a contact beast. But for, the God Squad and with like the depth of Diamond Dynasty cards, you're going to want cards that are more 5-tool, that have a lot more power. But for the Angels fans out there, and that's what's great about the show's finest, the whole entire set is you can get a card from like your favorite team and kind of have that boosted version. So if you're just a huge David Fletcher fan out there, and I know a lot of Angels fans are, you can get like a David Fletcher that's going to be pretty. I mean, this is pretty much the best version of David Fletcher that I can think of. So that is David Fletcher, not going to be starting for our God Squads, but hey, if you're a huge fan of David Fletcher, go ahead and pick him up. We're going to go to the Oakland Athletics now. Liam Hendricks gets the nod. Big time per nines on Liam Hendricks. He's been a finest card the last 2 years. 125. There's some A-plus relievers in here. I put a poll on Twitter yesterday. Do you have the Rich Gossage by chance? Were you thinking about, I'm not sure if you have them or not, but have you thought about selling that card at all? I wanted to pick it up like 2 or 3 days ago because I thought it might go up. Then we get the show's finest relievers release. I'm glad I didn't pick it up because the price has gone down. I'm just like, I don't know. There's a lot of like good stack relievers. I'm interested to see. Do you have that Gossage card?
Yeah, I do have the Gossage. I got him early when the event was 6 innings. I think he's one of the best relievers in the game. But now with these finest, we get a few good relievers. I don't know if Hendricks. I actually like one of the other relievers that we'll talk about later a little bit more than Hendricks, but you don't get a lot of relievers like this. Maxed out hits and K per nines, 5 pitches. He doesn't have a cutter or a sinker, but control is there. Walks per 9 is there. Fastball is going to be 97, 98. It doesn't have the outlier, so he's missing that. I think I'll like Goose Gossage more than Leon Hendricks, but Leon Hendricks is a very good option. Obviously, not everybody has $1 million stubs to spend on a reliever, and I don't think any card is worth $1 million. The thing is, I have $1 million stubs, and I have a few cards that I can sell for $1 million stubs, which is the reason why I kept Goose. But depending on the situation of the person, right? If you need stubs, if you don't have Mike Trout, sell Goose and work towards that. That's what I always recommend. But Hendricks looks solid. Again, hits and K per 9 is going to shrink the PCI, which is the first thing you want out of the pitcher.
Definitely. I think he's got a pretty good motion as well. I think some of these cards might unlock the ability, if you got like a Kedlin Jansen. I'm just thinking about my own squad, maybe like a Chapman, maybe even Rob Dibble, who's really good. I actually just sold Rob Dibble the other day. His price was going down. You might be able to get out of one of your relievers cards, either to pick up one of these reliever cards or to possibly help you along the way stub-wise in the exchanges for some of these other, team affinity programs that we've been talking about. But yeah, I like Hendricks' accuracy. I think accuracy is important for pitching. I really need to stay out of the middle, and versus a good player, I've got to stay out of the middle, and I've got to stay on the edges. I can't be throwing balls. They're just going to take those pitches. Now I'm behind in the count. I've got to be hitting the edges, and I think this card might be able to accomplish that. It has some pretty decent control. Let's go take a look at the Seattle Mariners. What do you think about this card, Kyle Lewis? Yeyo?
Kyle Lewis looks very intriguing, right? 104, 108, 104 against righties. They finally, I know Mariners fans have been waiting for a good version of Kyle Lewis, possibly the rookie of the year, right? So diamond fielding in center field, 69 speed at center field is not elite by any means. I think that's a big L in that part. But hitting wise, 122 power against lefties is actually elite. It's probably going to be a fun little card to use. 73 vision is kind of low. But the 4 main attributes offensively, he has it. 87 contact, I wish it was a little bit higher. But he does have the diamond badge at center field and 122 power. That's what sticks out at me.
I really like his swing. I've always kind of been a fan. I'm starting to, the more I play this game, I actually like some of the cards with the big leg kick. it doesn't help you as much on Legend. Almost feels like the swing is kind of slow, but in that like All-Star Hall of Fame range, I don't know, something about a big leg kick, I can really time it well. And Lewis has probably the biggest one I could think of next to like Brad Miller or something like
Turner?
that.
Kind of like the Justin Turner leg kick.
Yeah. There's some, and Kyle Lewis is the animation that he had on that one is just really, I don't know, it's really clean. This card also has homebody. It has day player, so he's gonna get some boost, to his contact and power, from those. And then he also has breaking ball hitter, which I like a lot because, I almost like it more than dead red because it's like everyone got, hitting a fastball isn't that hard necessarily, compared to like hitting a breaking ball. So maybe I wonder if the sinker is considered like a breaking ball. I would think that it is. So maybe he can help it versus those sinkers and those cutters too. I'm not really sure. We've never seen some good tests on what that exactly does, but it is a dynamic quirk. It's like, we got a quirk like hitting machine that basically it's like, all right, he has over the contact, threshold that you get for hitting machine. I think Bomber's like 70 power from both sides. But then breaking ball hitter, that's a rare one that I only give to some of the better hitters. So it's going to be an interesting card. It gets over 70 power. I mean, outfield's stacked, but I actually like this card quite a bit, this Kyle Lewis card. We're going to head to the Texas Rangers. It is a starting pitcher, Lance Lynn. What do you think about Lance Lynn, Yeyo?
Nothing really jumps out, even though he has, I think this is one of my least favorite pitchers that have cutter sinker. Because he's like cutter sinker, mid to low to mid 90s with the fastball as well. But then he has a curveball and a changeup. The per nines are not elite compared to other pitchers that are out there. Control at 79 is not as high as I would like. I don't think he's a top, like, he's not a top 10 pitcher for me. So I do think there are better options, especially here in the stage 4 team affinities. But it's nice that Lance Lynn got a nice 99 card, because I know he had a good year a couple of years ago. This year, again, kind of like a solid year. But again, cutter sinker, that's what you're looking for in pitchers, and he has it.
I think for this card, if he had more ace per nine and K per nine and more control, he would be pretty good. But if he had a little bit more heat on that sinker, he would be pretty good as well. Because I actually do like his motion, but this is a case where I like his motion, but then you look at the math of the card on the other side, and it doesn't quite match up. And with only 5 starting pitching, spots, it's going to be difficult for him to get into that range for me. But that's kind of, I think that pretty much sums up how I feel about this Lance Lynn card. Should be a decent card, but it could be better. All right, we're going to finish off the American League. We're going to head to the Houston Astros. The Houston Astros, they've got an outfielder, Kyle Tucker, 106, 88, 94, 102. 88 fielding, 83 speed, kind of average across the board with nothing really sticking out. He's not that bad, but we don't really see anything up in that like 115, 120 range. 106 contact, 102 power versus left is not too bad. The fielding will go up to diamond at the prestige level, but I don't really think this is necessarily one you're going to want to prestige. He does have dead red, day player, road warrior, situational hitter. So he's got some quirks as well. One of my favorite ones has always been what's it called, like unfazed. So the PCI gets a little bit bigger with 2 strikes. But for me, Kyle Tucker, it's kind of a pass for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like he doesn't have any major holes. If you look at it, it's all very balanced, but it's all solid. If you prestige him, I don't know why you would try to prestige him at this point in the game. But if you prestige him, he's gonna have diamond fielding over at left field, 86 speed. Like, that's not bad. The contact against lefty would jump to 91. Like, it wouldn't be bad, but it's like we've said, there's so many good outfielders that this card is probably not gonna make your team, but it's not terrible,
Yeah. I'm trying to think. It's kind of like Shane Bieber. It's like pretty good, but nothing really just kind of jumps out, and it's like I gotta have this one. So I think that's one's more low priority.
I agree.
We're gonna jump over to the National League. We're gonna start with the NL East now. We're gonna start with the Atlanta Braves. The Atlanta Braves actually have two finest cards as well, but this is the one that you get out of the reward path. And keep in mind also, we still have all these cards in this pack to talk about. So we've got the rest of the teams, and then we've still got more cards to talk about. We'll talk about kind of the ways to get these cards. So stick with us. Grab some popcorn, grab some snacks, because we're gonna be going through all these. Hopefully, you're grinding out some of the stage 4 program right now, and we hope that you're having a good day out there. And I'm just excited to talk about Freddy Freeman. 125, 86, 117, 81 power versus left, 103 vision, 92 fielding, 93 reaction, 44 speed. It's gonna mash against right-handed pitching. Versus lefties, it's not as good in that situation. He's just not going to be as good versus lefties, but it's not horrible. It's just not that great. It's probably not what most of us are looking for in a top-tier God Squad first baseman. Does have excellent defense over there at first base as well. Freeman's swing to me over the past few years, some people absolutely love it. Some people just don't like it. This is a card that I already know I'm going to give a home run up to.
And I was gonna say the same thing about his swing. I feel like his swing is one of those that you either love or you hate. 125, 117 against righties is obviously elite for the maybe MVP, right? But the 86, 81 looks so slow too because of that 125, 117. He meet the power threshold. He was, I don't want to say terrible against lefties, but he wasn't 86, 81 against lefties. So they boosted him to make sure he had that. Like you mentioned, 92 fielding, 93 reaction. Is very good at first base. He's not going to be better than Babe Ruth. 44 speed. He's obviously not great, but corner infielder, you don't really need a lot of speed. But yeah, I mean, for the Braves fan, yeah, they're going to like him. That 125, 117, 86, 81 against lefties is going to be just fine. Like, he'll be okay, but he won't be a lefty killer by any means.
Take a look at these quirks as well in this Freeman card. He is stacked with them. He's got homebody, night player, first pitch hitter, which is, I like that one. Sometimes I'm aggressive at the plate. Unfazed, dead red, rally monkey, fighter, and he also has situational hitter. So he's got some stuff that will boost his performance. Maybe you're conscious of that when you go into games. Maybe it's just going to help out on the side. Some stacked first basemen that are going to be over the top, but a cool Freddy Freeman card. Let's head to the Miami Marlins. What do you think about the Miami Marlins card? Miguel Rojas.
I don't know. I think is it the worst of them all, even though he has 125, 100 against lefties? Is another one that rakes against lefties. He has diamond fielding. He's going to have diamond fielding at any infield position. 99 reaction, like it doesn't get any better than that. But that 85, 75 against righties is just a big letdown. You can use him against lefties, but what are you going to do against righties? Not much. Defensively, he's going to be solid. He doesn't have the arm strength though, but he has the fielding and reaction, which is obviously key. But he's one of my least favorites. I think it's kind of like in the bottom tier, even though it's an infielder.
What do you think about his swing? Have you used his swing at all in BR?
I have not.
I haven't used it too much. I'm trying to think of some of the other Miami infielders as well. You got like Reynolds and you got Jazz Chisholm that we've had.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he can be a part of, is there a Hanley card as well? So I think like for your Marlins all-time squad, he's going to be good against lefties. He's not going to be that good against righties. The fielding and reaction almost maybe I don't know. I feel like he only has 71 arm, but sometimes like with a third baseman and like kind of how this game, I don't know what the word is to use, but it's kind of like there's like a slow roller. Sometimes I feel like even if he has 71 arm strength over at third base, it's like they gun the ball to first base. It's like almost like they have I I don't know. They really like in the past couple games, if you hit like a slow roller to the shortstop, like you would be like safe at first a lot more than you are in this game. It's almost like they get this like juiced up animation where they just throw the ball really hard out. So maybe he could be over there at third base with a 70-1 arm. This one I'd probably pass on this one personally. I don't know if I might go after for the collection, and that's kind of where I see the value.
Mm-hmm.
And then also if you have a Marlins fan squad.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
New York Mets. And I tell you what, I am absolutely stoked. This is my favorite card.
He has it
in this. Yes,
he has it.
Yeah, he's got the absolute gas on the four-seam fastball. He's got pretty decent control. He goes 110, 125. Now, the sinker and the slider, or the sinker and the cutter, I should say, are the predominant pitches in MLB Show. Those are usually the most effective pitches. But I really actually like pitching with the outlier on the heater a lot. I think it's just like, I feel like I've thrown so many sinkers and cutters. Like, I just want to throw that gas. And yes, your opponent, they can look for it and catch up to it. Once you notice them looking for it, throw that changeup almost anywhere in the zone. They're going to be way out in front of it. And if they just can't catch up to that fastball, it's kind of GG. Like, you might, maybe if you're playing on the top end legend versus amazing opponents, it's not going to be as good. But if you're kind of like in that 700, 800 range, sometimes this card can be really fun. I like the Pearson. I'm really looking forward to this DeGrom. I hope he has some decent control. I'm looking forward to pitching with him and just going with that fastball, hoping to get some Ks on that 125.
Yeah, and the 110 hits per nines is not bad either. Obviously he's going to be hitting 102 in the four seam, but I'm really intrigued with that slider. That even though he doesn't have a cutter, that slider coming in at 92, 93 miles an hour, that's going to be hard. He has a changeup, obviously 87. So 87 and the 102, that's 15 miles an hour. 87 seems kind of fast for a changeup, but when he has a fastball coming in at 102, changeup at 87 is actually good. He has a curveball as well. That two seam probably may move as well. He has 95 break. I mean, I'm not sure where it counts there, more for the slider and curve or what, but the two seamer can be used. I mean, and you can tell that this card is one that is going to be a fan favorite. Buy now is 138, sell now 130. I mean, just to put it in perspective, Miguel Rojas was going for 35,000. And that's what we're talking about. This pitcher can be end game. Like you mentioned, if you run into somebody that cannot hit that fastball, you're gonna have a blast using this card.
Look at and I probably will get him prestige as well. We get him prestige. 89 control is an average of all those pitches combined. It's not a rating for each pitch. It's just like a combined average of all the pitches. Each pitch has their own individual control rating. So 89 is actually pretty high.
Yeah.
For 5 pitches. And then you're gonna, we add 3 to that, and we add 3 to the BB per 9, add 3 to the H per 9.
Insane.
Add to the break. He's gonna be a fun one. I'm looking forward to using this one.
Same.
This one can make your COD squad. In my opinion, it's gonna make my rotation as well.
Yeah. And he has a little bit of a hitting stats: 25 contact against righties with 34 power, and then 25-24 against lefties. I mean, you never know. He can hit lefties.
Yeah. Yes. Get a home run or a base hit that can really shift the momentum in a game.
That's always so good.
All right, we got a catcher from the Philadelphia Phillies. What do you think about JT?
I kind of like it. I'm intrigued. 85 contact against righties is not the best, but he has 112 power, max out contact against lefties, 125 and 91 power, more than enough. Gold fielding, there behind the plate, but 90 blocking is good. 75 speed. You don't get many catchers that can move like that. Obviously I have Jimmy Fox behind the plate, my cap behind the plate, but this is not a bad card depending on what your team is looking like. If you don't have Fox, if you don't have your cap at catcher, you have him other positions. This card for catcher may not be bad. He's probably going to be better than Pudge. Even though Pudge probably beats him in contact with righties, but that power plays.
JT can definitely scoot a little bit behind the plate. It comes in at that 75 speed, which is one of the faster catchers in the game. Good defense as well. Good arm strength. No one's going to be running on that 91 arm, especially if you just hit that line on the meter. You're going to be doing well. I think he's got a decent swing. I personally don't like to use him too much, but I also don't mind using him. I'm kind of in between on that. I like Jimmy. I probably would use Perez over him personally, but I do think he's not bad at all. Can kind of hit both sides. Should be interesting to see if folks like to use this card. And let's see, he's going for 74.57. I think another factor that's going to be some of the price on this, like if you're trying to get these exchanges done, or you're looking to think about the prices, is you got to think about what was in stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. If they weren't super stacked cards, not everyone did them. I know a lot of us diehards out there. We've got all of them done, and we can go with any team. But I'm trying to think of the Mets or the Phillies. The Phillies did have Mike Schmidt, but I think to the Mets on the Grom, it's such a good card, and the cards leading up to it were David Peterson, Conforto, who's okay, and Jimenez, who's like not really a card that everyone probably went after. So maybe that has. I guess they had Outlier was good. So I don't know. There's something to think about. So maybe that was kind of like good. Like Conforto and Leiter were pretty good. Jimenez was okay. He's got good defense. But we're to a super stack card now, though, in the Washington Nationals. You want to talk about it being excited for a card? I'm very excited for this one. I'm going to let you go first, though. What do you have to say about
I don't know. There's not much to say, to be honest. I mean, so we've been mentioning about outfielder position being stacked. If you don't have the big names, right, like the Mike Trouts, the Mickey Mantles, the Ken Griffey, you should have it or should be close if you're playing right now because he's the only boss. But Juan Soto he may even be a better hitter than all of them. I mean, max out contact. Max out power against lefties, 119. If your prestigium is going to be 122. I mean, obviously the fielding is not great. 83 reaction is not bad at all. If you plug him in at left field, 53 speed is not elite, but he's there for the bat. And I mean, I'm sure you used the 89 face of the franchise Juan Soto, and I'm sure you did well with him because the guy can hit. His swing is so good. I know a lot of us in the Content Creators League were using him, the 89 version, and because he just doesn't stop hitting. So imagine this version, he's going to do just fine at the plate. He's going to be a top 3 hitter in the game.
This is probably, we had Bellinger last year. This is probably that card. You match the swing with these kind of stats. He's going to be absolutely ridiculous. He reminds me of Babe Ruth or Ted Williams out in left field. Just off the chart hitting stats. He's got Ruthian hitting stats. It's nearly 125 all across the board.
He's going for 200, by the way. He's going for 200,000. Oh
yeah,
my.
Yeah. That is. He's going for 200,000, and I don't even want to sell him. And I have stacked
it's not worth it.
I feel like the way you phrased that was perfect. If you haven't been able to get Mike Trout or Mickey Mantle, you're going to want to grind this out. Grind out this one. This is one that you're going to want to grind out, even probably more so than DeGrom. DeGrom I really like, and I want to try him out, but I know for a fact, without question, this Juan Soto will be a beast card, especially at the plate, like a 3-hole hitter. He's going to be fantastic. Definitely go after him. And even he has that sweet animation where you take a pitch and Juan kind of does his animation at the plate. Sometimes that can block me in more. I'm like, oh yeah, I need to start taking some pitches like Juan does. And I really I'm a huge fan of Juan Soto. I think he's one of the cooler players in the MLB. Big time fan of him. Awesome to see him get this stacked of a card too. And he deserved it. He absolutely was a beast this season as well.
I agree.
All right, we're going to head to Chi-Town. We're going to head to the Chicago Cubs. And they've got a starting pitcher that showed out this year, and that's why he's got a show's finest card. Yu Darvish. What do you think about Yu Darvish?
I'm really intrigued by Yu Darvish, even though he doesn't have the per 9s. that the Shane Bieber have and the Jake DeGroms. But I mean, he's still very good. Like his worst attribute is 87 control. And we've never had a Yu Darvish with this kind of control. He throws pretty much every pitch. He has a cutter slider. Love that the cutter's at 92 and the slider's 82. Very Dibble-ish like. The fastball 96, probably going to be 96, 97. I wish he was a little bit faster, but not terrible. Then he has that slow breaking ball and a sinker on top of that. I think this has a chance of being the best pitcher of the whole bunch. If you know how to use him, love the pitch speed differential in him, and per nines is solid enough where he can get the job done.
Shout out to Baseball Matt, huge Cub fan and one of the mods in my stream. I know this card is number 1 on his list of cards that he would like to get. That sinker looks like it's coming in hot at 95 as well. That's a hard sinker in the fifth slot, 99, 102. Probably a card that's going to get a nice little boost from the prestige. You know, get a little bit more to that H per 9, K per 9, 96 velocity, 99 break. Like you said, one of the best, probably the best control we've ever seen on a Yu Darvish card that I can remember. And he also pitches from the stretch. I love pitching from the stretch because I want it to be easy when I'm pulling down on the right stick to hit the line and go back up to the hoop. Could be a very, very dominant pitcher in Yu Darvish. Definitely a card that's worth trying out. Ahead to the Cincinnati Reds now. The Reds, they have Trevor Bauer. And I'm very interested to see what you think about Trevor Bauer, Yayo.
I want to try him out. I mean, he looks insane. Per 9 wise, he looks very good. The control 82 is a little bit low, but he has all the pitches that you want, pitch differential that you want, fastball, cutter, slider at 95, 86, 80. That's 3 different pitch speed, and he has the sinker, even though it's his worst pitch. 115 stamina, he can go a long way. He's not going to get tired easily. 124 hits per 9. That's going to shrink the PCI. That's what we've been talking about all along. And he has a little bit of a funky delivery. I think he can be very, very effective.
He's had a show's finest card in the past. I want to say it was like MLB 18 that he had one. These per 9s are absolutely ridiculous. The stamina is really high also at 115. So I usually think of the stamina as he can throw about 115 pitches before he's completely, out of gas. So I think he's going to be able to get through a couple innings for sure for the squad. I don't know. I mean, he's got the cutter and the slider and the sinker. I'm kind of worried about the fastball because it doesn't have a ton of gas. So I'm almost going to have to use like that sinker and the cutter and the slider. Maybe he has kind of like a Casey Mize type of vibe. I mean, there's no splitter or anything like that. Should be an interesting one to try if he can like have the pinpoint control. If he can play a little bit above that control, I think he's going to be solid because the per 9s are there. The motion is good. Trevor Bauer, I feel like is going to be a card that a lot of people are going to want to try. 87K sell now, 101 buy now. I think the prices will probably go down a little bit as people try him out. People start doing YouTube debuts. We get to see a little bit more of how these cards play, but just with the supply and demand, they should go down a little bit over time. So if you want Bauer right now, might be a little bit more expensive, but as we go through a couple weeks from now, hopefully we'll go down a little bit in price. We're going to be heading to the Milwaukee Brewers now. And what do you think about this? Another stacked reliever.
I mean, this is the card I want. Like, this is it. You don't see a lot of pitchers with changeup as a primary. One of the problems in pitching this year was changeups and off-speed hanging. So maybe this one you can control it a lot better. It won't hang as much. Max out hits per 9, K per 9s. Velo 99. I don't think he has outlier, does he? For the fastball, he does not. But that fastball is going to be touching 97, 98. Changeup in the low 80s. He has a screwball. Like, who throws the screwball anymore? I mean, I cannot wait to try this card out and see what he can do. I actually used the live series version of him a little bit in the event, and I actually did good with him. He has a cutter, sinker. I mean, he has everything that you may need. This card looks like a lot of fun.
Potentially the rookie of the year this year. in Devon Williams. This is a popular card. I felt like in the show CCL as well. I think like maybe Healy had him. I know Serenity had him as well. Massive per nines, great fastball, cutter, sinker, that fun screwball. He's also got a changeup, which he can kind of probably use in like that Trevor Hoffman way. Sometimes when they had that primary pitch as a changeup, and I'd go up against or use Hoffman. That changeup, when you need to hit home runs late in the game, like you kind of need a pitch that has some velocity on it. And that changeup, it's just difficult to hit that out. I mean, if you're looking for it, it's one thing. But even then, it can I know with Hoffman's changeup, it was really, really difficult to hit out just at times. And maybe I think I could see a little bit of that in Devon Williams. Again, another big time reliever. He's going for a ton right now. 147 to 99, 133. This is going to be one of the ones that people are going to want to add. And 125 is no joke. That's going to be that's one of the reasons I really like using Eric Gagne.
And I'm sure that And this changeup, I'm sure you're going to be able to spot it. Like a lot of the times, the changeups are used and meant to be thrown low in the strike zone. Maybe this changeup, you can put it up and confuse the hitter as well. You'll be able to dot it. I can see that.
For sure. All right. We're going to head over to the Pittsburgh Pirates. They've got a catcher in Jacob Stallings. 87, 125, 84, 112. Gonna mash left-handed pitching. It's got excellent defense, 99 blocking. I mean, that's pretty high up there defensively. 29 speed. So he's a little bit of a combination. Well, I don't know. I was gonna say he's a combination between Perez and JT, but I don't know. He's slower than Perez, but he's got better. I guess he's got a little bit better than defense than JT. Mm-hmm. He's got some power versus left. This is kind of like this is one where I feel like they kind of had to get him up there to give the Pirates another card. I was looking at all the Pirates cards in particular, just some of who they had, and I guess they already have Jason Kendall, so we got another one in Stallings, but I think Stallings did have a good year, so I'm just curious. I think this card kind of reminds me of like a Johnny Bench type of card or Buster Posey. Yeah,
and I like Salvador Perez more. I like the Realmuto more as well. This card obviously is gonna hit lefties. What jumps out at me is the fielding, the blocking, the arm strength. Like defensively, is gonna be elite. Again, I'd rather have Jimmy Fox. I'd rather have Realmuto for some reason. I think I like the reverse splits there. 87, 84 against righties is not doing it for me at this point. Even though if you prestige him, which again, you're insane, I wouldn't do it. But it would jump to 90 and 87 against righties. But it's still just like, I feel like the Realmuto and Salvi Perez are going to be more fun cards to use.
Yes, I feel the same way. All right, we're going to head to the St. Louis Cardinals, and there's not a lot of people really talking about this card. And I pronounce his name wrong. Can you pronounce his name for me, man?
Giovanni Gallegos.
Gallegos. I think I pronounced that pretty well. 124, 122 on the ace for 9, K per 9. So he's got some good ace for 9, good K per 9. I don't see this card. It's in that 43 to 50K range right now. So, it's a little bit cheaper. He's got the slider, the four seam, the changeup, and the sinker. You can mix that slider, changeup, and sinker together real well. Mixing that fastball. Doesn't throw a ton of gas. I like his per 9s. I like his control. I think he could be a pretty decent one that's kind of flying under the radar a little bit. But I don't think he's going to be amazing, but he's not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, he has kind of like a 3/4 delivery, if I'm not mistaken. Having the slider as a first pitch is kind of cool, but with the relievers that we've already seen, I don't think he's up there. He's not better than Williams. I'd rather have Hendricks, so he's a little bit below them, but he's not bad. The per 9s are there, but he just doesn't have the velo in the fastball. And slider, changeup, they're both about the same the same pitch speed, which it kind of you want to have an out pitch as well from a reliever, and I don't think he has it. He doesn't have a strikeout pitch.
Right, I completely agree with that. And if this card leaves a pitch in the middle, it's going to be slow and it's going to be right there. So he's not too bad, but he's not like amazing either. So, all right, Arizona Diamondbacks. We made it all the way to the NL West in this video, and their card is Zach Gallen, a starting pitcher. 108, 108, 105, 78, 85. A four-seam, a cutter, a changeup, a knuckle curve, and a sinker. So he's got that cutter sinker working for him. He's got a changeup. I do like having a changeup to mix it up. Doesn't really throw that hard of a sinker, though. Doesn't really throw that hard of a fastball. It's kind of like the dude from St. Louis, you know? It's like, it's got good per nines. Gallegos has better control, but I don't know. I'm not really feeling this one too much.
No.
But what do you think about it?
I think it's just like an okay card, especially from what we've seen, right? He's not better than Darvish. He's not better than DeGrom. He's not better than... I'd rather have Shane Bieber, even though Shane Bieber doesn't have the sinker. I think his delivery is very generic. So he doesn't make... I don't think he even makes a starting five from the finest. I'll have to look, but it just looks like it looks like an okay card. 85 control, 78 walks. He may even be a little bit difficult to control. 81 velo is just not enough. That fastball mid-90s is not fast enough. I don't want it. I don't want it. I'll have it for the collection, which we'll get to, but I'm not really interested in it.
For sure, I'm on the same plane of thinking with you on that one. You know. Good for to add to the collection. Probably not one I'm going to use in my lineup. And being a Royals fan, I'm probably not going to be, it's not something that's going to make my personal all-time team, but he will make a Diamondbacks all-time team. Trevor Story of the Colorado Rockies is next up on the list. Can play at second base or play at third base. 97 contact versus right, 81 power versus right. But he goes 123, 120 versus lefties. So he's got that high-end lefty power.
Another one.
High-end lefty contact. Can play second or third, has got some decent speed, and he's got some pretty good fielding. I feel like he's just like right on the precipice of being amazing, but he's just not quite there.
I mean,
that's how I feel about him.
Yeah, and he would be elite. If you add 10 to the hitting attributes for righties, he will be elite. Like if you make that contact 107 and that power 91, he would probably be elite. He has diamond fielding at short, which you don't see often, with 85 speed, 91 reaction. He's going to make every play there. He has the arm strength. He destroys lefties. It's just that 81 power against righties looks kind of low, but he has a good swing. He's always been a good card. But yeah, he's just missing that against the righties, and I hate it because I like the card.
Maybe this card could be used in conjunction with that Corey Seager from the World Series program. Have Corey hit against the right-handed pitchers, have this Trevor Story hit against the left-handed pitchers. Maybe that's like a situation you can use them. I don't know if you want to say Corey Seager out of the game at all.
He hits just everyone.
Like this is probably one that you want to like see if you could figure out a way to prestige him somehow with like maybe a second or platoon him somehow with either like a second baseman or a third baseman, something like that. The LA Dodgers, and during the live stream today, I didn't get too good of a look at this card, but we do have a Mookie Betts card, 121, 125 power versus right, 92, 81 power versus left. The fielding, 99 fielding, 95 arm, 99 arm accuracy, 99 reaction. He also can play at second base as well. So he, I do like having the reverse splits. I'm interested to see if he's going to play above that 81 power. He's going to have night player, first pitch hitter, homebody, unfazed, dead red, rally monkey, and situational hitter. So he's got some extra quirks on the other side as well. A+ defender. I think he needs a little bit more speed. I think he needs a little bit more speed from the prestige version. Yeah. I wish he had a better season versus lefties this year to get that boosted up. No. But it's a cool Mookie Betts card to me. I mean, it really is.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw it was Betts, it hurt me because I was hoping we'd get an MVP version of him from the 2018 season because I knew his splits against lefties wasn't there. Again, I love having a 121, 125 against righties. Fielding is absolutely insane. The 81 power against lefties is kind of low. He has a good swing, short, very small strike zone. He plays second base, but with that fielding and reaction and arm, you don't want to put him at second base. My thing is, obviously, we didn't get the MVP Mookie. We get this one, fine. Are you telling me JT Realmuto is really faster than Mookie Betts? JT Realmuto has 75 speeds, and Mookie Betts has 72. Like, there's got to be something wrong there. There's no way Mookie's not 80, at least 80 speed. Did you see the play he made? He stole like 4 bases in the World Series. He scored the go-ahead run in game 6, I believe it was, on a grounder to first. He's faster than 72. Like, give me that.
I feel like he's faster than 72 also. I feel like he should be probably up there, 78. I'm not sure how they get the speed ratings. I don't know if it's from like some of the advanced like metric recording tools, like some of like, I don't know what it's called, like they had like the Amazon something or other, that like speed tracker, something like that. I'm not sure what they get it from that, or if they get it from some like, some of those like Fangraphs or Baseball Reference, but he just feels faster than 72. He just does feel faster than 72. Especially with like how good he is. Like the stealing of the base running aggressiveness probably should have been higher as well. In that regard. Overall, is he gonna make an elite squad? I don't know, but like 121, 125 is no joke. I like his swing. I like his defense. He just kind of is another card to throw into the mix here for these cards. So it should be. I'm kind of interested to see what the community is gonna do. Let us know down in the comments section below how you feel about this Mookie Betts card.
Can we do the Giants first? Please, let's do the Giants first.
Yeah, let's do the Giants first because there's a big one coming out of the San Diego Padres. Let's go ahead and do the Giants first. Let me know what you think about
I kind of like, again, it's kind of the same with the righties. I love the 118 power against lefties. He has the 116 contact against righties. 89 power is solid. Again, too many outfielders at this point. He had a very similar, kind of close tops now, I think, card as well. But again, the Giants had a little bit of a down year. There weren't many options. So I can see why he got it, but he looks like an okay card, right?
Yeah, and he's got the reverse splits. I like the reverse splits as well. Definitely he's got the power versus a lefty. Sometimes that can be sneaky. I mean, people bringing a lefty to face him, he's actually probably better against lefties. I haven't looked at his tops now in a while. I did see a lot of people kind of like, throughout the community saying that they almost like the tops now more. So if you really like want this card, maybe go up to the tops now. This card might be more one of them that's just kind of like we add it to the collection, we move on type of deal. But he's not that bad.
Yeah.
And this is the one, this is another, I don't know, super elite card. This is a beast one. We saved this one for last out of the team affinity. Manny Machado. Go ahead, Yeyo. What do you think about Manny Machado?
I mean, it's endgame, right? Like, it's endgame. And when I was looking at the list, when I saw the Padres, I figured Manny would get a card. The first thing I did was look at the splits that he had this year. He hit over 300 against both righties and lefties. You can see there 109, 116. He hit for power. He has the defense. You can plug him in at short and he's still going to have diamond fielding. 46 speed is the whatever. I'm just going to ignore that because the hitting attributes are jumping at me. You can prestige him, which would make him 112, 114, and then 120, 120, or 119, 123. That's end game attributes hitting there with the defense. This card is going to be amazing. I'm sure he's going for over 150 as well. Yep, 162, 145. I mean, the card is insane. Has a bunch of the quirks. This is a card I cannot wait to try.
Imagine putting him next to that Tatis if you've got an all-time Padres squad.
Oh,
because
yeah.
they're so good. Like that is two just amazing cards. One, he's got amazing hitting stats. It almost kind of reminds me of like Willie Mays or something. Just A+ defense. That's going to be really, really fun to play with. Like 99 arm strength, 96 fielding, which will go up to 99. So will the reaction if you prestige him. Definitely worth prestiging. The 56 speed, I mean, it's not great, but when you're hitting the ball over the wall or off the wall, you're going to be getting those doubles and you're going to be getting those home runs. Don't throw this man a fastball because he sneakily has dead red, and a lot of people play day games that ship it. This is like a ship it beast because you don't need a lot of speed in ship it. He's going to play great defense on the hard hit balls and line drives and save some runs. He's going to knock it over the wall in those like summer day games that people like to play at ship it. Get a home game and ship it with this card. Play during the day and get yourself a fastball and hit it over the wall with this Manny Machado card. What an absolute beast!
I love it.
Type of show's finest,
Love
card
it,
for
yep.
me. All right, so that is the entire league. That's every single team. Now, once you go through, we'll take a look at this Machado program as well. Now, once you go through, there's some additional packs. There's the finest pack, which has a 1-in-1 base and a 1-in-4 rare. We're gonna review all those cards, and at the very end, you get one of the rare cards guaranteed. The rare cards are Garrett Cole, Ronald Acuna Jr., and Dylansen Lumet. Did I say that right? I'm so bad at pronouncing
Lumet, yeah.
Right? I know who the guy is. I'm so bad at pronouncing stuff. Lumet is going to be an interesting one. We're going to take a look at the base round, and then let's see. They should all be in this pack. So we actually, we can go over them just by looking at the 1-1 base and 1-1 rare. But you can get the. I think they also explained too. If you get the base round, you're only going to be able to get 5 of these. So you got the 3 at the top, and then you got the other ones that are all in the base round. The ones in the base round, you're only going to pick from 5 of them. They won't put out like 11 in the base round, just for clarification's sake. And then if you hit the rare round, it's going to be Cole, Acuna, or Lumet. So let's start. You ready to start with Garrett Cole, Yeyo?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, cool.
Garrett Cole, per nines look insane. I feel like Garrett Cole is one of those cards that his delivery doesn't throw a lot of people off. Not in the past. I haven't really used him this year. He doesn't look much better than I'd rather have like the DeGrom, the Darvish, even Bauer. Bauer has better per nines and the pitch repertoire. I think is better. But it's a nice little card to add. I mean, you're getting it for free, right? Like for getting the packs. You can buy him now for $18K, which is, I feel like that's a good price. But yeah, I mean, solid little card,
And that $18K price might be nice to pick up as well to add to the collection. We got to talk about the collection and here in a little bit because we got even more cards. If you made it this far in the video, let us know down in the comment section below because you rule. And just want to say that. I hope you're enjoying that, but we got even more cards after this pack to talk about. We got cards and cards and cards. I absolutely love it. Garrett Cole, I really like pitching with his finest card last year. Obviously, it had like those boosted per nines that we've seen in like Bauer or we've seen in DeGrom. This one doesn't really quite have that. I feel like a lot of Yankees fans are really going to want to use him. But he's kind of got that John Smoltz thing going on where he has a lot of different pitches. He's got a really clean motion. Like I like using his motion quite a bit. I think the animation's even different this year compared to last. But part of that is he's got such good mechanics that he's also really easy to pick up in the game.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's necessarily. There's a reason that he's only going for 18 to 14 right now. A lot of people are getting this pack. A lot of people are getting him, and they're not wanting to necessarily use that Garrett Cole. Ronald Acuna Jr., one of my favorite players in the league. What do you think about this Ronald Acuna Jr.?
Love the fielding. I mean, 91 speed. He has 93 fielding. So diamond defender with 99 arm strength at center field is amazing. We've talked about all the outfield that we have at this point in the game. that contact kind of low. I wish it was a little bit higher because this is a very fun card to use. A great swing. I wish the contact was higher, but because everything else is 5-2, right? The vision is not there, 51 speed, but he has the power. And I think it's one of those cards that it would be fun to use, but it's not, obviously, it's not a top 3, top 5 outfielder.
For sure. If he could get that contact up, it'd be nice. I guess you can get up to like 97, 87 if you prestige him. I think Braves fans are going to love this card. I feel like they'd want to see a little bit more power versus left, but we talked about Mantle earlier. He's got only like 103, 105 power versus left. Still a lot of power. I really like Acuna's swing as well. I'm a huge fan of this card. I actually, some of the cards I like to use in the game, and some of them I just like to like collect, maybe throw them out there at events for fun when I'm not trying to have like the most sweaty lineup possible to win games. I'd like to actually have this card quite a bit. Has some nice quirks as well. You know, he's got day player, homebody, first pitch hitter, breaking ball hitter, all solid dynamic quirks right there, which is one of the cooler things about these cards. Like I do like having that. Just because the legends in this game, they actually do not have that. So pretty sweet to see this one. He's going for 21.13. Very affordable card that you can get pretty easily. You know, throw some stubs together, pick them up.
Mm-hmm.
Dylansen Lumet, 104, 124, 116. Good H per 9, good K per 9. Like literally elite H per 9 and K per 9.
Mm-hmm.
99 velocity, 99 break. I think they said during the stream that he has 99 on that slider. Am I correct in that, Yeyo?
I think so. Primary slider, I think it's always fun. It worries me, the control at 81 worries me a bit, because if that slider hangs, you know he's gonna get hit. But the per 9s are just so good, though. You know, 99 velo, 99 break as well. You know that two-seamer being his third pitch is probably gonna move a lot as well. I mean, the Padres got some. They love them over there in SDS, right? Well, it's San Diego. So I mean, I like the card. It's very intriguing for the price as well. Same price range as the others, under 20K. I mean, it's a very good card that I would like to. I haven't seen the delivery, or I don't. It doesn't really jump out at me, so I don't know if it's easy to control or easy to read. But I'm kind of intrigued.
The Padres are really starting to build up some talent in that rotation too. You got Lumet, Clevenger, Gore on the way. I even saw like this top 100 prospects like on the MLB pipeline. You know, they have another shortstop that's like number 3 overall on the MLB top 100. The team is just stacked with talent. Them and the Dodgers really kind of felt like, you know, they're going to be battling in the NL West. Good per 9s, like you said. I thought, you know, the good per 9s will not really help him too much if the control leaves the pitch in the middle. What's interesting quirk-wise, he does have sinker baller on that two-seam fastball. So I'm interested to see how that's going to move. 99 on the gas. Doesn't get the outlier, but that 99 gas probably going to hit a little bit up to like, I think it'll hit at 100 occasionally if it's up in the zone, possibly. And then the two-seam fastball is going to move the slider, the changeup, the curveball. It's going to just come down to how well his control is, but he's got the 99 velo, the 99 break. Very interesting card. And you want to talk about another one that you can pick up. Instead of buying him for $19,999, what you should do right now is go put a sell now order in for him. Just go put that order in, and someone's going to sell you this card. This card's probably moving like hotcakes out there. Yeah. And you can pretty much pick up a pretty beastie looking starting pitcher for not very much. All right, so the rest of these cards are in the base round. Some of them we haven't even seen. Some of them I haven't even seen yet. I see Brandon Belt on my screen right now. Yep. They did not reveal all these in the live stream. They just revealed some of them. We're going to start with Dom Smith of the New York Mets. What do you think about Dom Smith?
I mean, righty killer, right? Against lefties, nothing elite. First baseman and corner outfielder. With 39 speed, you don't want to put him in the outfield. 71 fielding. Which will drop 5, so it will be technically 66 fielding and 39 speed in the outfield. That's not where you want him. He's all right. You know, he's all right. Very good against righties. Little bit above average, obviously, against lefties, but we've seen so many good cards that I don't think he pairs up with the others.
He personally, for me, would be probably a good BR card, a good card to have in a Mets team build. This is what's interesting about him. He has a breaking ball, dead red, unfazed, first pitch, night player, and road warrior. So if he's on the road, if you're using your Mets team, play on the road at night. He's got the best hitting quirks possible too. First pitch, unfazed, dead red, and breaking ball hitter. Gonna do some damage versus righties. Might even do some damage versus lefties with those quirks. But the fielding and the speed is not very good, and he plays at a very stacked position. So, he's probably going to be one that we're just going to try to add to the collection. What's interesting is in the rare round right now, he's actually going for more than Cole and some of these other cards, which is we're going to talk about that collection here in a moment. But we got Brad Hand up next for the Cleveland Indians, 122, 114, a slider, a four-seam, a sinker, and a curveball. He's got a lot of control. I've always liked his motion quite a bit too. They used to play together. I want to say they played together in Cleveland for a small amount of time. I'm not sure if their paths crossed over, him and Andrew Miller, when he got traded, I believe from the Padres over to the Indians. I think he's now a free agent. They didn't pick up his option or something like that. Homebody night player, sinker baller. So he's got that sinker. That means they like the break on that sinker. It's got to be a good sinker. I wish he had the changeup instead of the curveball. I don't think he would. We've seen some other. What's interesting is if you need a lefty, you get that Andrew Miller from the program this time around. Pick up this Brad Hand. There'll be some good budget type of cards. Only $16K right now. Not too bad as a lefty. Pick up a Crochet.
That's the one I was gonna say. Like, this card is not better than Crochet. He's not better than Andrew Miller. He's not better than Aroldis Chapman. The per-nines look very good. The problem is the fastball is just not fast enough. When you want a fastball, you want it to be fast. 76 velo. That fastball is going to be 93, 94, just not fast enough. Very slow slider. So it's like low 90s, low to mid 90s, or low 80s. Or, so it's not a big speed differential. The per-nine looks good, but I feel like he's going to get hit. He's just going to get hit. There's better options for the same price or maybe even cheaper.
Yep. All right, I haven't seen this one yet, so I'm interested to see what this one is going to be like. Brandon Belt, 125, 108, 60, 84. So he's not going to be too good against lefties. Has a 91 fielding, 92 reaction, only 27 speed. Just initial impression. I mean, he's got dead red, night player, homebody. Initial impression, honestly, I do kind of like his swing, but he's just not good enough probably against lefties. The fielding is great, but it's not a high priority fielding position necessarily at first. And the 27 speed is below average. This to me is one that I'm going to try to get for the collection. I'm not paying two. I'm not paying 22,000 for him. Yeah. I'm gonna pay 16. I'm gonna put him in the collection, and I'm gonna work towards getting those collection rewards with this card.
Yeah, same thing. I mean, he's not at this point. He's not usable against lefties. He's very good against righties, but that's about it. He has the fielding, 27 speed. He plays left and right field, but you're not gonna put him there. He's more a card that you can use for the collection because it's gonna be one of the cheapest ones.
This one I am pretty excited about. We got Eloy Jimenez. I love using his swing. 108, 104, 103, 125, 84 vision. I'd actually, if you guys watch this show, if you watch the CCL League at all, I really like Trey Mancini. I really like Eloy Jimenez. I like his swing a lot. He would be like a perfect DH type of card. Which is what I think after kind of like watching him in the field a little bit this year as a Royals fan, I think he's going to end up as like a big time mainstay DH for Chicago for years to come. I think he's going to be an absolute problem. He's going to really, really hit for them. Has 60 speed. He has silver fielding. So, I mean, it's not the worst fielding in the world. If you have to put him out and left, but he's a good. I mean, if you look at the hitting attributes, like contact and power, he's almost like Machado. Like Manny Machado has 109, 111 against righties, if I'm not mistaken. So a little bit less power against righties, but he's maxed out power against lefties when Machado is like 120.
So actually not terrible. His swing is very good. I've used him a lot in BR. One of my favorite BR cards. Obviously, fielding and speed is not elite. It's not there. You're not getting him for that. But again, he's going to be one of the cheapest version options as well. But I think that he could be a fun card. I may try him out maybe in like a BR draft as well. But he's a good hitter. He's a good hitter for sure. That 125 power against lefties plays.
Yeah, it does. This is like the one when you open up this pack and you get the base round. This is like one of them that I would select.
Yeah.
I would select the Eloy Jimenez out of that pack.
Same.
Tony Gonzalon from the Dodgers is the first time that I'm seeing this card. It gets a starting pitching card. 14 fastball, splitter, a slider, and a curveball. 97, 109, 88, 104, 98 break. This is a card that is just definitely in that like base round type of feel. It's not like over the top that you would see in a rare round type of thing, or even like an elite round or like an elite pack, like a beach ball pack. He's kind of like just in that mid-tier range. Not too excited about this one. I don't have too much to say about this one in particular, but just kind of a collection piece for me.
Same. I mean, he had a good year for the Dodgers. Like I feel like everybody has a good year for the Dodgers. But yeah, I mean, it's not a bad card. But at this point, if it would come out at like maybe April or May, it would be a very solid card because of the per nines. Everything's well balanced, but he's not gonna make a year rotation at this point.
And then only the 97 stamina. That's not that much stamina. It's probably like 3 or 4 innings almost before he's starting to get low in the green. So
80 pitches, he's already getting tired.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, look at this. We got a Royal and then we got a Red Sox. Our two favorite teams. Mine is the Royals. This is the first time I've seen the Whit Merrifield card other than what we discussed before we started recording. 98, 107, 87, 67, 113 vision, 86 fielding, 75 arm, 77 speed. Whit has a good swing in this game, but his his attributes, they really just aren't going to add up to make him a phenomenal hitter. I think the one thing he got boosted in this was a lot of his vision. He's kind of a hit machine that can play all over the place. I'm not too high on this card. I would go and what I would do if you're a Royals fan out there, go get that Mondesi card from the September monthly awards. Do those moments. Do what you got to do to go pick him up. That's the card you want, to pair with like the George Bretts and stuff like that and the new Perez. This Whit is just, he's I like the David Fletcher that we talked about more. That would have been like, I guess ideally what would have been. Only he has the 87 power, but nothing really sticks out to me too much. But hey, Whit, I'm glad you still got a finest 2020 card. I hope he gets to play on a playoff team someday.
Yeah, and for him, I think it's the versatility. Like he'll be a gold fielder no matter where you put him in place, every position except catcher and shortstop. For the Kansas City Royals team build, he's gonna be a bench player that you want there, right? Decent speed. He can play all over the place. That's what he would do. Just the versatility that he brings.
He's gonna be able to fit, into one of those spots for that team with his ability to play all over the diamond.
Yep.
All right, Verdugo. What do you think about Alex Verdugo?
Oh man, if that power was 90 against lefties, this card would actually be super fun. I mean, 115, 124 is elite contact wise. He has the 90 power. That's Ty Cobb. But 67 power against lefties is like 88 fielding is solid. 93 reaction, very good. 63 speed is not elite by any means. But he's a good young player, up and coming player, right? Like the Red Sox. He's the main piece, which is sad. The main piece the Red Sox got in the Mookie Betts trade. But yeah, I mean it's a cool looking card because of the contact, but he's not. I mean, outfield is just too stacked at this point.
Yeah, I really like his swing quite a bit. It reminds me a lot of almost like the Chipper Jones 2008 swing. Kind of has that like slide with his front foot. And I really like his swing a lot. Go to mash versus righties. Going to be more of a gap sitter versus lefties. If you're playing with this card in Fenway on your team that you like a dream team of Red Sox players, try to hit it off that big green monster in left field and get some doubles with him. He's got day player, he's got first pitch hitter, he's got breaking ball hitter. I just, like you said, I think that was so well said. Like, he just needs more power versus lefties to really make an impact across people's lineups on the top end.
I agree.
All right, we got another pitcher for the Padres, Drew Pomeranz. This is the first time I looked at this card. 125 both sides. The control just jumps out as not being very good.
Oh, yeah.
That's some of the lower control we've actually seen this late in the game with cards getting released.
Yeah.
I love the per-9s. He's got the 4-seam, the 2-seam, and the cutter. But this is a collection ad for me.
Yeah, same. I mean, it sucks because it's maxed out against like hits and K per 9s. Like, you don't see that all the time, right? But we're at that point in the game that this card you have better options, you know?
Yeah.
He has a cutter, he has maxed out per 9s, and he's not gonna make your bullpen.
Yeah.
That control
don't let those
scary.
per 9s. Don't let those per 9s fool you. It's not gonna be.
No.
This is more of a collection ad than anything.
Yeah.
Don't see those per 9s and go buy him for the top hit.
You're gonna bring him in and he's gonna walk whoever he's faced, no matter who. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we got Ryu 102, 94, 95, 100. This is the first time I'm seeing this one also. I really like his motion, at least I used to in the past. Like maybe MLB 16 or 17, I've used them on like a pitcher. I actually want to even go, I think it was like MLB 15 or 16, so it was going back quite a few years. I'm not sure how much has changed because I have not really used the gold one this year, but it's probably not too bad. Decent control. The per 9s, they just aren't jumping out like the 110, 125 or anything like that. But that's, he's in the base round, so it's understandable. The changeup, the cutter, the 4-seam, the curveball, the sinker, he might not be too bad. That changeup and curveball look pretty slow, but overall he just doesn't throw very hard.
Yeah, it's the velo, right? The velo not being there, it hurts. It seems kind of like a Tom Glavine. Tom Glavine, the flawless reward, I think it was earlier in the year. Oh, he got him. He had the changeup, cutter, sinker with the although Glavine had a slider if I'm not mistaken, but he also had like a very slow sweeping curve. So he has a slow curve as well. For the Blue Jays, it's kind of like a fun card. Change of pace kind of pitcher can use them. But yeah, we've seen better options as well. Collection again, these are base rounds, so they're gonna end up being probably after a week or two, they're gonna end up being about 5 or 10K. Which are actually not bad for the price, but they're that price because there's better options out there.
And it's not bad if we got to collect a lot of these cards. We do want now that I think about it, it's like I do want some of them to kind of be cheaper, so it makes that collection a little bit easier.
Yeah.
It's like you really got to stay out of the middle with this card with the lack of velocity. If you can do that, it's going to be good. If your opponent can hit pitches that aren't right down the middle, they can kind of hit pitches on the edges. That's where you're going to run into trouble with this one. But I think he, he's all right, but he's not making, a top tier rotation.
Yeah.
We got Jake Cronenworth, had a good season this year for the Padres. 122, 84, 86, 60, 107 vision, average fielding, pretty good speed, second, third, shortstop, first base. He's got first pitch hitter, dead red, breaking ball hitter, so he's got some good stuff. Day player, he actually has some good quirks, but the quirks aren't going to help out probably enough for the lack of hitting that this card has this deep into the game.
Yeah, no, he's just not playable at this point. Nice that he can play every position in the infield, almost max out contact against righties, which is kind of cool, but that 60 power against lefties is just not gonna do it.
We're really looking for like cards that have some kind of strength that's going to really put them over the top for you. So that's like one of the things you'll notice as we go through these videos or go through these cards. Jose Iglesias, 125 contact from both sides. First time seeing it, 66, 78, 116 vision. Such a great fielder, but the lack of arm strength is going to hurt him at shortstop. You do need arm strength at shortstop. Yes. There's so many throws your shortstop's got to make. He's got to have good arm strength. and kind of lower speed also for a shortstop as well without the power. So we talked about earlier with Fletcher, you know, you have all the contact in the world. You kind of want to pair that with some speed, though, so those base hits can turn into stolen bases. What do you think about Jose Iglesias?
That's the first name that came to mind. It was David Fletcher. I'm like, look, he has more power than David Fletcher, but David Fletcher's a 99. David Fletcher has the arm strength that Jose Iglesias doesn't have. 57 speed, again, he's not elite by any means either. It's kind of nice to have max out contact against both sides. I mean, I'm thinking for my team Cuba that I was talking about earlier, he's definitely going to make the squad, though.
Yeah, that's a good point. And versus a lefty, I mean, look for him to hit one deep to the gap or even possibly over the wall, especially if it's on a breaking ball, because he does have the breaking ball quirk.
Yeah, 78 power can hit those gaps. Yep.
Kevin Gausman, first time seeing this one. 4-seam, a splitter, a slider, a 2-seam fastball, 100 in the stamina department, 95, 107. Throws a decent amount of gas. The 4-seam, the splitter, and the slider. The 2-seam, the splitter can kind of work as a changeup. It's going to be obviously a little bit more faster than a changeup, but not by that much. Doesn't look, I don't know. It's just,
that's the best reaction. That's exactly the best reaction. I don't know. It's like, like you're not gonna try him because you have better options at this point. It's a cool card. Like if you're starting the game right now, this card can be usable. But for all the other players, that everyone that's been playing for at least a month, you're gonna have better options. You would think, right? Mm-hmm. So, it's just fastball 97. It's kind of cool, but then splitter and slider, they're about the same speed as well. So it's like there's not much to offer here.
Probably on like all-time San Francisco squad right now. I mean, you got Marshall, you got Madison Bumgarner. Gausman's going to fill that role in some place in that rotation, but he's not going to probably be in many other rotations other than that I could think of.
I agree.
Luis Castillo, one of my favorite pitchers to watch IRL, throws that gas, the 4-seam fastball, and he does have outlier 2 on that sinker, so it's a really, really hard sinker. The only thing that's tough with him is it is the control, and as you go through the game, he will be a little bit wild at 81 84. But he's got the circle, the sinker, the 4-seam, and the slider. You actually could work with this one. Let's say like Gausman is just so straight. It's just kind of bled. This one actually has a little bit of funk to it. Yeah. And that's why I like this Luis Castillo like more than that. Not in my rotation, but this is like another one I would select. We talk about Eloy Jimenez. I would select this Luis Castillo out of the pack.
Yeah, and he has outlier in his secondary pitch. So he has outlier 2. Does that mean it's in the sinker or is it secondary pitch because the 4-seam is the third pitch? I'm thinking it's the 4-seam. But I may be wrong. It has to be the sink. I don't know. We'll have to try him out. I don't think he's going to be touching 102, but that's kind of like an interesting quirk as well, having that outlier too. The circle change for me can be a very effective pitch, but for me, it's so tough to control. I don't know why. I always have a hard time controlling it. But yeah, it looks like a nice little card. Cincinnati team build. Him and Bauer can definitely going to be up there. Solid per 9s. So it's the same thing, control and walks per 9, 84, 81 is kind of like where you may have some trouble.
I do like that's an interesting point you bring up about the circle change. I do like the regular change up more than the circle change as well. The circle change kind of breaks a little bit to the side instead of breaking straight down. So I know exactly what I know what you mean. It looks like it's actually kind of a fast circle change too at 85. Like if it was even slower, that'd probably be better. Our last card in this pack is Marco Gonzalez. Sinker, cutter, curveball, changeup, and a 4-seam fastball. 93, 84 on the H per 9, K per 9. He's got really, really good control though. 114, 92. But the reason he's got such good control is he's not throwing it very hard. So
59 below.
Yeah, that is wow. 59 below is actually some of the slowest I've ever seen.
It's actually very impressive. Very Jamie Moyer like, is it not?
Yeah. Yes. It's very Jamie Moyer like. I guess potentially it could throw off your opponent because it's so slow. But the H for 9 and K for 9, like if the H for 9 and K for 9 were way up there, it'd be more interesting. But this is one that you're gonna want to add to the collection if you can get them at a good price.
Yeah, this price is gonna drop. The thing is that this price is 24 and 16, so it's actually more of the expensive ones of the base pack of the base tier because nobody's picking this card.
Right.
So
exactly.
you may want to pick this card if you get the base pack and buy the other ones that may be cheaper, but you're definitely not picking it to use it.
Could be a good one in the short term to pick up to sell, maybe even in the long term also, as more people don't pick this pack. Yeah.
Yep. One more thing.
All right, so we've talked about this collection over and over again. Now it's time to go take a look at this collection. And again, all of these cards can be prestiged. So if you go down to the team affinity, you can see all of the prestige options. If you go to prestige and then you go to the team affinity, you can see them all there. Let's see where this collection is. It's going to be in the legends and flashbacks that you get towards Mike Trout. So these cards will help you towards Mike Trout. You get rewards for collecting a lot of different stuff. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and then a Ballin bundle at 40 and 50, which I wouldn't necessarily think that you really need to go after. That's going to be 5 Ballin packs and about 5,000 subs, 7,500 subs. Those two tiers you really don't need to go after. Probably I would go up to like the 30 tier if you're in that collect kind of mode. Or if you want to go with all of them, I guess, to go towards Trout. I'm not sure if that's really your best route to getting Mike Trout or one of those things knocked off for it, but it is an option. So let's start at the very bottom here. A throwback from the Colorado Rockies. This card seems like it'd be fun to use on BR, if not on your roster. Wish you had some more per 9s. That's Pat Neshek. He's going to have that motion, though, and he's actually got good control.
Submarine.
It's going to be pretty cheesy. That slider, sinker, curveball, or circle change. I don't feel like he's in a God Squad mode, but I do feel like he's a budget type of beast. And they compare him on the stream to Sergio Romo in that regard, with his like H per 9 and K per 9. It's a pretty good comparison, but he does have that submarine, which just kind of puts him over the top.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That 70-mile-an-hour changeup, you're going to have your opponent swinging and just falling on their face because they're not going to expect it. That sinker, that's a 20-mile-an-hour defense. Like, that's a big gap. I think it will be one of those fun cards to use. Just try it out. Not God Squad, he's not going to be better than... it's just to give a different look, right? Like, Mariano Rivera and Kenley Jansen, they're about the same pitcher. They both have sinker, slider, cutter, four seam, whatnot. This card is nothing like that because of the way it pitches and because of that circle change. It's so much slower than every other pitch. So, I think it'll be a fun card to use.
What's good also about the submarine, the funky pitchers is for like 1 inning. If you need to bring them in for 1 inning and throw your opponent off, it's tough to like get adjusted to Pat Neshek immediately.
Yep.
It's more like he comes in for an inning and you get 2 or 3 outs just based off that motion alone, and that's kind of all you really need him to do.
He has pitched. Yeah, I mean, pitching clutch 125. You can bring him with runners on base. He can get out of it. It's the different look, get you out of the jam, and he got the job done.
Luis Severino up next from the show 17, a 4-seam fastball, the slider, the changeup, in the cutter, 102, 100, a 110 stamina. Throws some absolute heat as well. He doesn't get up to the outlier, even with the 99, so he doesn't have the, he'll probably throw about 100, but he's not going to hit that like 102, 103 range. He's got the slider, that's a hard slider, 89, changeup at 87, cutter at 95. I think Yankees fans are going to be happy with this one.
Yeah, I think this is like that cutter is kind of fast too, I wish the slider was a little bit slower. That would make him even better if it made it like 84. If it was an 84-mile-an-hour slider instead of 89. But I mean, it's very similar to Garrett Cole, not a big gap in pitch speeds, but solid per 9s. He got the fastball. He's gonna touch 100 every now and then. But yeah, it's another card that you're gonna be getting. I mean, for 10, for collecting 10, that's not a bad looking card, and it brings back memories from the show 17.
Definitely. Now I talked a little bit. We talked about the Trout collection. At 15, you actually do get the collection voucher. So this actually will be a pretty good way to get a voucher towards Mike Trout. Honestly, only 15 of these cards, and if for whatever reason you haven't got them, it probably wouldn't be too bad. These cards are going for up. They're a little bit expensive right now, but they're probably going to go down a little bit in price as time goes on. So it'll end up being a decent one to go after.
And you can get it for free
collection
by doing the showdown. I mean, there's a new showdown.
Yeah.
That you can get the vouchers and start grinding off that offline grind. But I mean, Mike Trout is worth it.
Yeah, definitely. And they have the conquest maps as well that I think you can get like a base round pack from. Yeah. So it might be like I'm not sure if it's the base on the 1 through 4, but with a chance at rare. But we'll have to take a look at that. I'm wondering if there's any rewards in those too, like random packs along the way. There's a lot of content that is in all this.
Yeah.
Collect 20 Ketel Marte from last year, 113, 115, 84, 105, 113 vision as the 79 fielding, the 75 speed. I wonder if this card is prestigiable. I don't know.
I don't think they are because they're here.
I don't think they are either.
Yeah. This is one of those cards that is like extremely versatile, right? Like he can play all over the place, switch hitter, a very good contact. 84 power against righties is not elite, but he's going to be hitting from the left side, which is good. I remember last year, I'm a Roberto Alomar fan. I'm saying like he's the best second baseman in the game, and everyone's saying like, no, Marte is better. I'm like, no. I mean, he doesn't have the fielding. The fielding is going to be silver no matter what, no matter where you put him. 75 speed, a little bit above average. Not going to hurt you there. But the versatility and a switch hitter, he's a very cool, fun card to use. He was very good last year.
Definitely. And if you, I'm okay with this swing. Some people are definitely better with this swing than I am. So it's one of those cards you're going to have to try out and see if you like it. And if you do, he's going to be really effective for you. Nolan Arenado gets a boosted card. It's his finest card from last year, but I'm trying to think if we've really seen, other than his live series card, has he had like a crazy good card other than this, like in the game thus far?
I don't think so. And you know what's sad is that and it's not sad because we have the Manny Machado card, but I compare it to the Manny Machado, and the Manny Machado card for the stage 4 for the Padres is better than this one. And Arenado has such a great career. Obviously the speed is not there. It's lower than Manny. But I mean, very good card anyways. Fielding at 90, that should be 99. Reaction 99 is still obviously elite, but he's at third base. Defense really doesn't matter as much. But yeah, I mean, he has a good swing. He's a very fun card to use. Is he worth collecting 25 cards? I guess it depends on your situation. And if you really want the next one that we're going to be talking about in a little bit. But Manny Machado looks better than Arenado, and I feel like Arenado needs to have a even better card.
If you're a Rockies fan, you're gonna need to take this card up against somebody that has Machado at third base, the new Machado, yes, and show him what's up. He's got a little bit less of attributes, but show him that you don't even need all those attributes. He's just a beast. Yes. But yeah, it is nice to see Arenado get a card. I think that's who's going to be happiest with the card is the Rockies fans. You got your boosted Arenado now, and I completely agree. He's had such a great career. He makes some unbelievable plays too at third base. Insane. Like I love it seems like during the MLB season, like once or twice a week, there's something Nolan Arenado does on the field that it's just like, what was that? Like I saw him I think catch a ball like in deep left field, the diving plays, the plays that actually Machado makes a lot too. Especially back in the day with Machado, where it's like hit down the line, he's way in foul territory and makes like a bullet throw to first base. So a sweet card, Nolan Arenado.
For sure.
And we got to talk about this one because we actually talked about it before, and you were hoping that this card got released, and I thought of you immediately once we saw this one come across. Francisco Lindor, shortstop, throwback. What do you think about this card?
So a couple things jump at me. 125 contact against lefties with 100 power. 99 fielding at the shortstop position. That's insane. He's definitely going to be making my Team Puerto Rico team build, obviously. 85 contact against righties. I wish it was a little bit higher, but Lindor has an amazing swing. Like, even the live series Lindor, a lot of people use at the beginning of every year because of how good his swing is. Switch hitter that he has, and the defense is going to be there. The arm strength is not out of this world, but 81, it's more than enough for shortstop. And even if you move into second or third, he's still going to be a diamond defender. I cannot wait to try this card out, honestly, because I'm a huge Francisco Lindor fan. I love watching him play. But my only critique is that contact against righties. I wish it was a little bit higher, especially this being kind of like the end game collection for finest. I feel like it could have been a little bit better, but Lindor is Lindor.
Yeah, Lindor is probably out of all the live series cards, especially early in the year, the one that plays above his stats the most. The swing's fantastic. This card does not have the quirks. Like, none of these throwback ones do have the quirks. So it is something to keep in mind. His live series does. That shows you how good that is. I wish he had some more contact versus right as well, but he's got pop from both sides, and he's gonna play with that. He's gonna hit some home runs with that pop. Yeah. And switch hitting from like the second base position is always nice. You can play him at shortstop, obviously, with the 99 fielding. He's gonna do fine over there. 73 speed, great swing. Pretty cool card for sure. And Francisco Lindor, one of my favorite players to watch. Usually, I like to watch when the Royals play the Indians. That's usually when I buy a ticket to go watch, because I like to go watch him play. I want to, whenever I like to watch the Royals. I'm rooting for the Royals, but there's certain guys like Lindor and Trout, and I really wanted to see Tatis in person. There's certain players I like to just go watch play in person, and I like seeing him have a lot of power too, because I really feel like when you watch him, game to game to game, like, I just feel like he has more pop. Almost like what we talked about with Mookie Betts. Like, I feel like Mookie Betts has more speed. So this is the Lindor card with some pop.
Yep. I agree. I mean, 105 against righties and 100 against lefties. It's more than enough. He's gonna be hitting home runs, and his swing is he golfs it too, so he should be fine.
Be careful with the lefty versus him. Just be careful.
Another player that you gotta be careful with.
Be careful. We got a ball and bundle at 40 and 50. I think most of us would like to see a couple more in there, like that. I think a lot of people were wanting to see Cody Bellinger. Maybe we'll see him at some point down the line. Content in MLB The Show is not complete, but this was a huge content drop. We're probably going to have this for, to hold us over for a little while until, maybe maybe around Christmas time. I mean, maybe a little bit before that. But a sweet drop overall. Yeyo, thank you so much for recording this video with me. Yeah. We just recorded for almost 2 hours and did not feel like that long at all.
There's too much content. There's so much content.
Oh, but there's actually more stuff to talk about. There's actually, now I think about that, we got to talk about let's talk about the showdown and the conquest real fast. So the stage 4 team affinity, there's no National League, there's no anything like that. Actually, this is pretty sweet because it's all boss battles too. Yeah. Which I like. There's none of that like, oh, we gotta get pitch a little bit. It is just all hitting, which actually I like quite a bit. And they said it wasn't going to be as hard as showdown and stream. It's going to be a little bit easier. So if you really are behind, you want to get into grind mode, this is how you do it. Not even behind, just more so like if you want to get into grind mode and save your stubs, you can definitely do it. And this should be some pretty fun modes. Doing all the hitting should be pretty sweet. And then the conquest as well. It says complete the Orioles Team Affinity Challenge to earn a one-time progress boost towards any stage in Team Affinity. Look for hidden rewards along the way. Some stuff this will be good for. You're going to get some hidden rewards along the way, some stubs, some stuff like that for capturing some of the goals. You're going to get a finest pack, and it is a 1-on-1 base or a 1-in-4 rare. So you can hit that rare round in these packs by doing this. You're going to get all of those packs. That's going to add up to a lot of stubs, honestly. If they're going for like 10K, some of them we saw like 24 to 16K. So if you want to just do these to sell them, you're going to end up making a lot of stubs to get whoever you want off the market. You got to play through a couple games here. I would imagine there's some hidden packs on most of these maps, and you get a one-time progress boost, so you can't complete the Orioles map over and over and over and over again. You can do it one time, but I personally actually I love playing Conquest, so I probably will do all of these to make the stubs, and like that's gonna knock out a ton of cards for that collection too.
Now make sure that you gotta steal 3 million fans. So you have to looking at the goals. You have to steal 3 million fans in order to complete it. So I'm sure that's gonna be part of the goals that you need to have in order to get the finest pack. So make sure to keep that in mind.
Yeah, that is a good thing. Just hit square. Check out those goals. You guys steal 3 million fans. Make sure you take care of that. You'll get the 5 show packs once, and you only get one finest pack. It's not repeatable, but 30 of these. Another thing too, if you're trying to get into grind mode, doing all these conquests is where you can get some of those innings accomplished too. If we go over to the team affinity, we look at the Orioles, we look at the missions. There's 250 innings with Baltimore players. Stack your team to play these computer games, especially if you're playing them on like rookie or veterans. It's not going to matter too much. You want to get some of these innings done to go along this reward path. But see, there's so much content. We made a 2-hour video, and there's literally more stuff to talk about.
There's so much. It's insane.
Well, I had an absolute blast recording this with you. Make sure you check out Yeyo's tournament that's going to be going down. Follow him in the description below. All his information will be in the description below. The tournament is going to be going down here pretty soon, a couple weekends from now. Look for the official release video from Yeyo. That's going to be amazing. And also check out his giveaway for that Delgado Wave 3 mic. Honestly, it's like the best USB mic ever. If you want to like create content, or you like to talk to your friends in Discord while you play, or what video games or what have you, whatever you want to do. Maybe you need a mic for work. You're doing a lot of video conferencing right now with everything that's going on. It is a top tier. It is like no joke, the best mic possible. I love the Elgato products, and seriously, like that mic is amazing. Just enter the giveaway. What do you have to all you gotta do is subscribe to Yeyo's page, and you can get a fantastic microphone.
Yep. And again, thank you so much for doing this with me, man. We can talk the show for days. Stage 4, I mean, there was question marks about what it was gonna be. It ended up being finest, and we're here again for this podcast like YouTube video, but it was a lot of fun, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you as well. Have fun grinding the Stage 4 program, all this new content. We will talk to you soon, and thank you so much for watching. Peace.